Well, listen, was that impressive or what?
Hugely impressive. He's a horse that surprised me when he won the Irish Grand National last year. He went around the inside. I thought Paul was going to pull him up, and then Paul switched him to the outside, and he won around, went around the outside and won. And I thought, wow, what a performance! What a ride, first of all, but then what a performance from the horse. And then we decided we were coming to Aintree and prepared him for that. And he ran in the Bobby Joe, and I thought his performance in the Bobby Joe showed me, I said, this guy, he's well up for winning an Aintree with that sort of performance. It's our sort of Aintree trial race, grade 3 chase, and just with the rating he had and what he did to Vanillier, who I think was the probably favourite for the Grand National at that stage, and I said, wow, he just left him for dead. I said, this horse has huge ability. And then I thought he was well ahead of the handicapper because the weights were out at that stage. I said, this horse must be well in the Aintree National. He's just got to be lucky and like the place because he's a very quirky horse and always has been. One day he'd go out and jump left, the next day he'd go out and jump right. You never know what he's going to do. And, he came today and showed us how good he is, and I still think there's more improvement to come, which means I think the Gold Cup next year is going to be his next objective.
You rate that highly?
Oh yeah, I thought after the Bobby Joe, I thought he was a Gold Cup horse. So, and today has enhanced that view that I have of him anyhow.
Paul's going to come down in about 5 minutes. I'm here to speak for himself.
We have to keep talking for 5 minutes, haven't we?
So, what did he say to you afterwards?
Paul, he just said, well done, and thanks.
A boring question from me before I open it up to the members of the media. You've taken a long time between drinks, really. Hedgehunter, your previous winner on the national.
Yeah, well, I was delighted to win with Hedgehunter. Everyone wants to win the Grand National, and I thought if I never win it again, so what? Been there, done that. And the feeling you get from winning the national, I was on cloud 9 for the whole year until it was extraordinary when the following year when whatever horse won it after Hedgehunter. And then I came down, and I mean that's the feeling that the Grand National, it's the way it makes you feel that you're the Grand National winning trainer, and I hope to get this. I hope I have the same feeling here this year.
Will you take a sip of that as well? This is lovely, and I'll go into the gentleman of the media and the races. Put your hands up if you want to ask a question. Nice and close, please.
Willie, first loop round, the whole story bit, just after the jam, I think, was your heart and your mind at that point?
It was one or two of the fences. He just rubbed the top of them, and I thought he was going to let Paul out over his ears. He was like that at a few of the fences, and I said it to Paul afterwards, but he said no. He said he's just only doing enough to get over them, and that's probably the way to have a horse going around Aintree, rather than big, bold, extravagant jumps which sap energy. I think the whole horse was just doing what he wanted to do, and as long as Paul could stay on him, I think it probably just conserved all his energy. But it was worrying to me watching it, and watching the horse, I was worried. Watching Paul, I wasn't, because Paul, I always say watching Paul's body language, if Paul holds his position and stays going in the style that he usually rides in, I think, wow, we still have a great chance. And that's what happens.
Name and organisation, if you don't mind. Showing Guardian, and you said on ITV, you didn't think you said anything after the race, but then you let go, and you said I was buzzing. You just sort of said, you just screaming in happiness, and also perhaps does that put into context for how important this race is for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, watching the race, I was silent. One of my horses pulled up, one of them got seated, and I was trying to follow them all. And I said nothing, I was saying nothing, just watching, trying to concentrate on all the different colours, and especially with JP's horse with the different colour caps, it's hard to keep up. And then just when I could see Paul getting the gap, getting out, and I just started to roar, "Come on, Paul," and I just couldn't stop. So.
Anybody else? Nick? Nick from BA?
Yeah, Willie, before the race, we've been making a lot of the Trainers' Championship. you were sort of saying, well, until we're in the national, it's not a possibility. But
Yeah.
you've done it. You're in front already.
Are we? Yeah, I'm wondering where.
I think that's good. You're just in front. So are we expecting to see plenty of you at Sandown?
Yeah, Sandown, Ayr, Perth, wherever, wherever we can see a prize. I think we have to go for it now, yeah. But we needed to have a real good national, and we got it. So, I mean, it's game on, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willie, sorry, Dominic from the Daily Mail. Gold Cup champion hurdle, nine wins at the festival. Is to put the top hat on the year. I mean, can you put that into it? You know, if somebody said that to you at the start of the season, for all the horses that you've got, this was going to be the outcome, what would you have thought?
I thought they were mad, you know. You might have favourites for all those three races, but you never win all three. It's just, I mean, we can't believe it at home, you know, but at night time, myself and Jackie would be going through the horses, and, you know, we're gobsmacked looking at the talent we have in the yard. So we are, and you go into any of our barns, and I think any trainer, I mean, when I was a younger trainer, smaller trainer, I'd have been proud to have one of those barns. It's just extraordinary. And so thankfully we're getting the results for that. You know, you could have a lot of talent but not getting it. And when you look at the team, I mean, I'm here sitting down talking to you. We had a run in the last race, but they saddled it. You know, I think I saddled two of the runners in the Grand National. They're the first. I don't think I saddled any horse in Cheltenham. You know, that's the sort of team. The thing just goes on. They take over. I let them do it, and I find it probably works better when I'm not interfering, and that's the reality of it. So I'm very lucky to have the team I have.
So, Stan from Racing Schools. Hedgehunter went on to finish runner-up in the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Is there any comparison between the two? I know that
It's funny you should say that. Looking at where the saddle was on I Am Maximus today, passing the winning post, and where the saddle was in Hedgehunter, today's fellow, it was about, let's say, a quarter way back. It was at least 6 inches or 8 inches away from where the girth should have been, and Hedgehunter was probably much farther. Two skinny horses, but I mean, I think they're like greyhounds. I mean, Hedgehunter was never any good until he looked like he wanted about 3 months in the field, and maybe this fellow might be the same. You know, maybe you just really have to get him really fit, and that he's just a galloping machine. But I think he has the class to win the Gold Cup. I think this fellow Hedgehunter just mightn't have had that class. This fellow has, I think. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Frank Keogh from the BBC. 100 winners at the Cheltenham Festival, and now possible British Trainers title. Is there something that motivates you to break this record? So what would it mean to win the British Trainers title?
You know, it's fantastic. We never set out to have obviously no one ever set out to have 100 winners at the festival. I never thought it was possible. So we're as much surprised and delighted as anyone. You know, we're gobsmacked it happened. I'd love to win the Trainers' Championship. You know, Vince O'Brien, I think, did it back in the 50s probably. And it's you know, it's something different to do. And yeah, I'd like to win it. As much as I'd like to win it, all my owners want me to win it, and of course the staff would love to win it, and I'm getting as much fun out of having a go at it now as anyone, you know. But it's the backup and the amount of people that are wishing me well to do well in it and to go ahead and win it and have a real go at it, you know. That really astounded me.
That
Sorry.
business of setting new marks.
Sorry?
Business of setting new marks, does that drive you on, you know, setting new landmarks?
No, well, I didn't start out the season to win the championship. Now, JP McManus is after me for the last 2 or 3 years to have a real go at it from the start of the season. And I always think, just mind yourself, mind how things go on at home rather than spreading yourself too thin, maybe coming to England every second weekend. and maybe leaving yourself wide open to have a bad season. Because once you travel horses, playing away games, as I call them, takes a lot out of a horse, especially early in the season. And I don't do much travelling then because I think you might leave bigger prizes behind. Though it's just nice that it's come together and we have a real good chance.
Paul, if you could pass the microphone to Willie, rather, if you pass it to Paul. Paul Townend, ladies and gentlemen. We can know Paul Townend, Grand National winning jockey. I know you've been doing the routes. Is it some good yet?
It's starting to. No, look, it's brilliant. It's unbelievable. It's a unique race, and it's what you grow up watching and wanting to do. So,
Talk us through. I mean, any sort of anxious moments?
he took on the first few really well, and made a mistake at the chair, and just kind of shoved me back a little bit and slowed him down. But I was anxious not to rush him back into it. Let him get his confidence back up, and when we crossed the road, I was able to get into a gap, and he came alive for me there. So I knew it a winning partner at that stage and a big chance.
And an impressive winner in the end. And well, he's just been telling the media here, Gold Cup contender for next season. Would you agree with that?
It was a huge performance. Not too many quicken up when they come to the elbow here, and he hit the line strong. But I suppose last year to come from where he did in the Irish equivalent showed the engine was in there. So that's the hardest part to get right, and he's growing up as well.
And pardon my ignorance, but have you gone close to winning the national before? Have you?
No, last year I was third, and that was my best result. But no, I had a brilliant prep race yesterday on James de Burley. He gave me a great spin around, a great thrill. So I was going in with a bit more confidence after that.
Questions for Paul then? Nick?
Yeah, I heard you say, Paul, soon after you crossed the line that this just felt different to a lot of the races that you've won in the past.
Yeah, in the sense, I suppose, that you need so much luck in a Grand National. Grade ones are tactical, and you have to get it right. But a lot is out of your control in big handicaps like that.
Carl from Radio Merseyside. When did you kind of know this could be the win for you when you were going around that course?
Sorry, as I said, when I crossed the Mellon Road and got into a gap and he came alive, I thought I had plenty horse there when I got out and into clear air. I was just hoping that he was going to pick up for me, and he did. The fancied ones in front of me, they were going well, and the loose one was causing me a little bit of trouble. All of us are not unsure where he was going, but as I say, we were crossing the road and he came alive. I thought it was a big shot.
Hi Paul, Jim Martin from the Telegraph. You've raced in this race, this was your 13th time. There were changes made from last year. Did you notice those changes? Did it feel a different race from as well before?
Look, I suppose times are changing. The fences still take respect. I made a few mistakes and I lost my position because of that. So they still slow down a horse if they're not attacking them and taking them on well. But no, I was tucked away down the inside, and I didn't see a whole lot of them from the time we done a circuit. It got pretty tight in there. It probably rides a lot tighter of a race now.
Any other hands up? Any questions? Anything else to add, Willie? Oh, sure. Yeah.
Sorry, Willie, just go back to what you said. You mentioned Vince O'Brien. You know, the history of everything it was. Vince O'Brien was 1954 was the last time an Irish trainer won the Jumps Championship. So the weight of history to try and conquer it is quite something.
It is, because we have a different programme. We're at the end of the season now. I think all our horses entered in the races that we want them entered in. But I've got to look at maybe some of the smaller races around the country, and that's more difficult. I find the English programme very hard to navigate, and it's a tougher. You have a lot of it about handicaps in England, and that's tough on horses, and I don't know. But I let David Casey, who plans most things, get to work on that. So he's going to be working overtime for the next 3 weeks.
Paul's going to be doing a lot of travelling then.
I think he could.
Where are you running tomorrow? Back to yes, the one of the Birmingham? Where are you tomorrow?
We've nothing racing cancelled down.
Yeah, we're in Bellewstown, so Down Royal is on, but we've nothing up there.
Okay, everybody happy?
Although I think Paul will probably be staying at Ireland a good bit because he has the championship to win. And, you're how far are you behind?
Four behind Jack now, so Jack's inside smiling. We had a bit of banter before we came down there, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think Jack has 5 good rides tomorrow, and Paul, obviously, our horse brought the other meeting and it's cancelled, so it's not going to work out for Paul tomorrow, but anyway, the other days.
Celebrations for you tonight, will we?
We'll need a bit of lubrication to get this voice back in it. Right on again.
Paul Townend and Willie Mullins, Grand National winning number 19. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Cheers. Appreciate it. Thank you.